That's really important that you know that he cares about you. Now, the levels and all that kind of stuff, that's like in his heart. And I don't think that that's something to make judgment on. You don't like if he's caring about you a lot. Yes, of course, sometimes we can feel more care, we can feel less care. I think it's important for you to make sure you're doing your part as well. Because a lot of the times what I've seen is a lot of unsuccessful people, they're always worried about their rights. And I feel that the successful people are worried about their responsibilities. So rather than going to someone else and saying, look, you should do this with me, first I would check, am I doing what I need to do? If I'm doing like my part, then like absolutely, like, yeah, you could go if they're not doing what they should do, and communicating and all that stuff is very good. Like if I was in your situation, like, you know, my dad doesn't care about me much, or he should care about me more, that immediately in my subconscious, it makes me go, like if I say, oh, my dad doesn't care about me much, my own subconscious immediately goes, well, are you caring for him enough? That's how I think. I'm not saying you should think like that, but that's how I think sometimes. Like if I think, oh, my dad's not doing this, then I'm like, okay, but are you doing what you should do for your dad? Like that's a very default kind of question that goes into my mind. And then I'm like looking at myself and going, well, I could be doing more, or I should be doing this, or I don't know, like, am I caring enough? And if I'm not, then I'm like, I need to fix that. So my thing is like always jump to your responsibilities rather than your rights, because your rights, you will never be held accountable for them. Like if your dad has to care for you and he doesn't care for you, Allah's never going to say to you, bro, why didn't your dad care for you? Never. Okay. But if you have a responsibility to your dad, trust me, 100%, Allah is going to hold you accountable and responsible and go, why didn't you care for your dad more? And that's why, like, I try to jump to myself quickly to kind of like save myself and make sure that I'm in a good position. Now, I'm not saying that your dad shouldn't care about you more, or he doesn't, or he does, or you shouldn't speak to him, or you should. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that my default is always like focus on the responsibilities that you have, and then you're very safe in front of Allah, inshallah. Yeah, and that's a really good thing. That's really good. If you're speaking, and that's what you could say to him. You could say, look, Dad, like, I really care about you, and, you know, I'm really here for you. Anything you want doing for me, I'm always here, this, that, and the other. I was just thinking I would really appreciate if you could also do this or do that. And then maybe he doesn't know. Like, you know, maybe my daughter comes to me and says, look, I really enjoy it when, you know, we go and do this thing. And I don't know she enjoys that. So her telling me will be really helpful and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's a good thing to do. I agree with you, by the way, that like if they're discussing things, you're a family, you should all talk. The only thing I disagree about is that being careful that, okay, my dad discussed with my brother, he didn't discuss with me. Therefore, that equals the equation in my head. It equals he doesn't care about me enough. That is the whole thing around Viktor Frankl and the man's search for meaning and all of that. Because now you're giving it a meaning that because he didn't actually consult with me or tell me in time, or his communication was bad, that means he doesn't care about me. He should care about me more. This is what I'm saying about, that's where the equation and thing, that's where you need to kind of be careful about the meaning that you give it and the equation that you do to come to that point where you're like, he doesn't care about me, he should care more about me. Sure. And I don't think that's a good thing personally. Like if it was just personally me, I think it should be shared. But I'm saying if he does that mean he doesn't care about you enough? No. Hold on. Bro, this is where you're going to be very careful now. Like, that if he didn't communicate something to you about when he's going, that means that he doesn't care about you enough. I'm saying just because someone didn't communicate with you, it doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't care about you. Of course, it could mean that. I'm not saying, no, there's no chance it could mean. It could mean that he doesn't care about you enough because he didn't let you know that. Okay, but I'm saying the Islamic principle, which is actually the Islamic principle that I would tell you and others to go to, is to actually have husnul dhan. Okay, to have good thoughts of others. So when he didn't communicate when he should have, okay, instead of that equals he doesn't care about me, that's not Islamic at all, bro. The Islamic thing would be to make excuses for him and go, you know what, he should have communicated with me, but he probably just forgot. Of course he cares about me, but he just forgot. The conclusion you're jumping to is not that. And I'm saying that's what I would believe is the Islamic way, that you think good of others, you make excuses for others' faults and failures, and you come to good conclusions about them. But what you're saying is, no, because he didn't do that, it actually means he doesn't care, and that's an Islamic thing that, you know, I should jump to this conclusion where he doesn't care.